Okay, boys, we're going to talk about how to farm Laurels for this Guardian Games event. Now, there's a number of reasons why you want to farm for these things. Number one, to complete these triumphs. And number two, majority of your bounties, as well as your medals, require Laurels to be collected. Now, in order to spawn a Laurel, you actually have to get an ability kill. So the builds we're going to show you today are going to be for the Titan class, the Warlock class, as well as the Hunters, because I'm not discriminating. Even though Hunters are way ahead of us, it's whatever. Right now, I just want to make this a little bit easier on you. And who knows, you may find a build here that you want to add to your permanent arsenal. So first up, if you haven't seen our video going over the exotic heavy machine gun, the 7 triumphs to target, in the description below will be a link to that video. Feel free to go check that out. But arguably one of the hardest triumphs here that we're going to have to satisfy in order to complete Class Act and obtain heirs apparent is the Triumph Great Deeds. Now it requires us to collect Laurels in gambit matches, strikes, forges, and destinations. Quite a bit. Now the way Laurels work is you physically have to collect them. Now there's no cap on how many you can spawn at once, but there is a duration in which those Laurels will disappear, approximately 10 seconds. So as soon as you spawn them, I would highly suggest start moving your way toward them and picking those things up. Now Laurels spawn from ability kills, your grenades, your melees, more notably your charge melees. Unfortunately, I thought this event was really going to just break things out for us to get super nasty with our Warmon cell builds. Unfortunately, whether intentional or not, Warmon cells do not create Laurels. It doesn't. I have no idea what the deal is, because everything I've been doing here lately was to create builds so that we can just run and gun, get nasty with our Warmon cells, detonate them to possibly spawn these Laurels. Unfortunately, that's not the case. So whatever Warmon build that you have, whether it's one that requires you to detonate them or collecting Warmon cells to distribute arc damage, whatever it may be, scrap it. Now that we got that behind us, let's talk about what is considered destinations, because we know what gambit, strikes, and forges are, but there's a whopping 1,000 Laurels that you have to collect on quote-unquote destinations. Now, destinations is pretty much anywhere. Patrol areas, doing some public events. If you want to run those, by all means, go right ahead. What also counts as destinations, though, is actually the Reckoning, as well as Escalation Protocol, which has a tendency to spawn a lot more ads. So I highly, highly suggest, when it comes to farming out in those destinations, to hit one of those activities. Now, players around you that are also getting kills can spawn you Laurels, but they only count as 1 if they're not on the same class as you. But if they are on the same class as you, they count as 3, which obviously makes this Laurel collection here 3 times faster. So technically speaking, if you wanted to be the fastest here, you would get a fire team of like class members, get kills together. That way, every Laurel you collect will count as +3 instead of +1. Now, if you're like me and you find yourself playing solo a lot, let's talk about some builds that are going to make your life a lot easier. For my Titans, your best friend this week is going to be the exotic insurmountable skull fort. Whatever activity you are doing, whether you're rocking top tree striker, middle tree striker, it doesn't matter. It comes with transfusion matrix, kills with arc melee abilities trigger that health regeneration, and also restores your melee energy. This makes for some amazing pound town action with a constant refresh of your melee ability. Now, this is actually my favorite build to use in Gambit. To me, there's like no better way to take down a crap ton of ads. I will say that insurmountable skull fort does come up a little short because, simply put, your melee is not that strong up against super meaty targets. So if you take, for instance, something like Gambit Prime, this build doesn't necessarily work. There's other ways to incorporate, though, a strong melee backbone alongside refreshable melee energy. We covered it a few weeks ago, talking about Warmon cells as well as Charged with Light, combining those two together to essentially always give you your melee back. If you're rocking something like Greaves, this build could definitely work for you. But if you're looking to just skim through this and have a good time with little to no stress, Insurmountable really is going to be your best friend this week, guys, for my Titans. Now, moving on to my Warlocks. You probably saw me earlier at Shurochi. Yes, I was farming for Laurels here. I actually want to see how long it would take me to get enough Laurels to complete this exotic quest here for the exotic ghosts. Took all of 20 minutes. It was extremely fast. I was using Crown of Tempest with Conduction Tines. Arc ability kills increase the recharge rate of your arc abilities, as well as extend the duration of Storm Trance. I was also rocking Warmon's Light, which essentially granted us a Charge with Light buff. This is a build I meant to talk about last week, but never got off my ass to do it. The old Season of Dawn mod that you want to pair here, though, is the Firepower mod. This actually will give you half your grenade charge back or nearly half, like a third, when you throw your grenade while being charged with light. We also have Tyrant Surge, which is the artifact mod for this season. This is what's going to allow you to constantly spawn those Warmod cells. No, you're not detonating them, but you're taking advantage of Warmod cells to feed back into your abilities, thus spawning more Laurels. And finally, Lightning Strikes Twice. This is another ability that just feeds into your arc abilities, granting yourself grenade recharge rate, and can be extended by simply getting arc kills. As in the moment you throw a grenade and you have a arc-based weapon, landing a kill with that arc-based weapon will extend that duration, thus feeding more and more ability energy back into yourself. So of course the weapon we were using here was Wrist Runner, and if you just want to get the exotic ghost today, by all means, this is probably the best setup for this. But again, yes, you can go jump into the Whisper mission, yes, you can get a Shurichi checkpoint, input this long wish right here, farm out for those Laurels, but those Laurels do not count toward this triumph right here. And to me, the whole reason why I'm even doing any of this is to satisfy these triumphs so I can finish out Class Act and get Heirs Apparent. Now, everything I just showed you on the Warlock class, you simply want to copy and paste the exact same thing for the Hunter class, except Shinobu's Vow. Shinobu's Vow comes with new tricks. You gain that second charge of skip grenades. It also recharges itself while your grenade is actually doing damage to enemies. Copy and paste the same thing, boys, and essentially you will be in Laurel heaven. So fellas, that is our guide for farming for Laurels this week. If you're wanting to know what the exotic ghost is, bam, there it is. I actually got it on my Warlock class because I was concerned. I finished the quest up on my Warlock, and I thought if I picked another ghost, I wouldn't be able to equip it. So I ended up picking the Warlock one because I was already on there. And lo and behold, the quest has gone away on my Titan class. So I'm starting to think we can only get one exotic shell. Am I getting that right? Let me know if it disappeared for you guys. There's no way for me to pick it up though. Currently right now, I only have the Warlock shell and that's it. There's no option for me to obtain it on my Titan or Hunter class, and the quest that I already had on my Titan class disappeared. But a lot of people were saying this was a really good ghost shell. It comes with Speed Demon as well as Guiding Light, which of course increases those XP gains by plus 10%. And I will say they look pretty dope. Outside of that, guys, my only suggestion is to mainly take this as a marathon. Pick up your meadows, your daily bounties, complete them, and I would just leave it at that. Or at least that's how I'm going to go about it. Hit the associated activities as the meadows are going to want you to go. More than likely tomorrow it's going to be something like Gambit, Forges, or Destinations. And that way I'm not overworking myself or double working myself, right? If I go right now and complete Forges, collect all my Laurels there, and then tomorrow and the next day I get meadows that want me to collect even more Laurels inside of Forges, well hell, I should have just waited. You see where I'm coming with this? So take your time, treat this more like a marathon, and like we said, the earliest we are probably going to be able to get the exotic heavy machine gun will be Thursday after reset. Well, fellas and ladies, thank you all for coming and watching, and as always,
slap that like button like your mama told you right.